Hi, Shannon here, back from houseimprovements.com, and we're back out at the cabin build, and I just wanted to show you the waterproofing on the outside of the ICF basement, and as well as the weeping tile has also been installed around the outside. And the contractors have, before they can backfill, they've got to waterproof the outside of the ICF. The ICF is insulated concrete forms. Okay, so basically a styrofoam outer and inner shell on the forms. So they all they got to do is basically take a peel and stick membrane and get it above grade, 8 to 12 inches above grade is lots, and stick it to the wall and as well down and across the top of the footing to make a waterproof barrier. So any moisture in the soil outside can run down this surface and out and down into the weeping tile. So then the weeping tile gathers any of that water. The weeping tile's all the way around the perimeter of the footing, and it gathers that water, and it goes into a sump pit inside in the basement, which we'll show you after. So basically, I don't know what these are, probably about 3-foot pieces, these membrane, and they just stick them on, overlap the seams, the very top. They've sealed it up here to keep, just make sure that you don't end up with a lip there. Eventually there'll be parging or whatever on the outside down to just below grade level here. Okay, so they're above grade. Kind of see the grade over here. And they stick these membrane sheets on, overlap the seams right here, and then down onto the bottom of the footing. Then the moisture runs down the wall and into the weeping tile. The weeping tile is basically a 4-inch plastic perforated tubing that runs around the perimeter. It's set so the bottom edge of it's basically at the bottom edge of the footing height. We've got a minimum 8-inch footing here, so you can see I've got about 5 inches or 4 inches here of concrete above the footing, or above the perforated pipe. And that pipe goes inside under once it gets around, in our case, over in this other corner over here, it has to get low enough then to get underneath the footing and inside, and then connected to and put in a sump pit where it can be, any moisture can be gathered up and pumped back out. So I think that's about all I can show you on that. So we'll go and take a look inside and see what it looks like in there. I just wanted to give you a quick look at the installed sump pit. The basement contractor had installed the weeping tile all the way around the perimeter of the footing, and then they brought it in underneath the footing to the inside so it could be tied into this basin here. So their tile came in under the footing over in this area, and then I turned kind of a sweep to the tubing, and then I hooked this piece that isn't perforated from there to the basin. Of course, before I did all that, I had to dig the hole, get the basin set and everything. Normally you want the basin to be up, close to the top of your floor, but if I would have done that, my floor level's up here, I would have lost a foot of depth on my base, on what my basin could hold because of the height of the weeping tile. So I'm going to use this sleeve. It was just a fiberglass sleeve that I had kicking around, and I'm going to set it on here. This will be up to the height of the basement floor. The contractors can pull it up and set it as they pour, and that will leave me step down into the basin. And there's a lid that locks on, and on the lid there's spots where you can cut out here for different pipes or pumps or whatever are sticking out of the lid. So I'll just give you a little closer look. I'll bring the camera in here so you can see what you're doing. Now when you dig this sump and go to get it installed, it's nice to put just a little bit of sand in the bottom. That way you can fine tune your height and it supports the bottom of the sump well. And then what I do is I like to stand right in it and backfill around it and get that sand and rock and gravel down right around it so it fills in well. If you don't stand on it, it just moves around on you, and just isn't going to end up being in the right place, especially if it's critical for your height. If yours is up actually at your basement height, then you're definitely going to have issues after. Okay, so as we get down, right down in here, you can see there's a block over on these sumps. So there's all different ones, but this one has basically a nose or whatever, a hub here that you cut the end out of. Here's the inside of the one on the other side. Okay, and then your tubing just sticks through there. Okay, and you can see how the lid here will drop on and then actually lock in, try to keep kids and pets and stuff out of it. A little bit hard to get back out after. It's easier once you have some finger holes or any kind of hole in there. But so then our tube here, we've just got a slight grade to it from where it came in over here. And here you can actually see this is the end of the weeping tile that the contractor installed, and there's a fitting in between there to join the two. And this is the new, so this is perforated. This one, in my case, I just used a solid pipe with no perforations in it. I had to throw a bit of rock here on it just to keep it down because it wanted to kind of rise up. So I will backfill this all with rock. The rock is going to come right up, the radon rock, right to my footing height, and my 4-inch floors on top of that. Okay. So, and this is what it looks like once the sleeve will be dropped down around it. So the sleeve will sit in here, and I'll have a little bit of space around there. Now I'll probably come later and throw some concrete or some grout or something around there just to seal it up. There will be poly taped to the edges of this all the way around. That'll come out, and then when the guys come to do the floor before they lay the rebar, they'll be putting poly all down, and they can seal to that, and that's just to try to help keep any radon gases that might be coming up through the radon rock and ground from getting into the cabin. I'm going to fill this in, and that's it. So here you can see, once I've got I'm not completely backfilled, I'm a little short on gravel, but you can see the space down in there. And if you noticed, when I put the poly in there, I taped it to the pit, to the container, as well as taping the seams. And then, like I said, when the concrete guys come, they'll just fold this down, finish taping, and tape their sheet that they put on the entire floor to that. Okay, so I'm all finished up on that. Was, like I said, it wasn't so much about how to install it, but you know, kind of what you should see when it is installed. There's not a lot to it, just making sure you get connected well to the coming in weeping tile system. Get your pump at your pit at the right level, and you're good to go. Thanks a lot for watching. Make sure you subscribe and like the video.